the clean spot has disappeared. So I'm running out of time. I didn't show making these 2 serving trays. I made them for my eldest daughter. I hope she likes them. They're made out of lumber from my own property. It was a pine tree that blew down a couple years ago, and I had it milled into lumber. And so it's got all the milling marks still, the big 42-inch saw blade that cut the planks. And this is mostly rustic, not a lot of character. I actually, don't think I really made any mistakes on this, but I didn't have a chance to film it because I'm running so late. I didn't take the little bit of extra time that it takes to film while making things. But I wanted to include these as part of the wooden Christmas presents that I'm making. Howdy ho, Arkansas Pilgrim here again, getting a little bit frazzled. It's December 22nd, and I still have 2 presents to finish. Actually, I have 1 present to start and 1 present to finish. That blanket chest still needs finishing, but it's going to be finished last because, well, it's the present for my wife, which I would rather finish first, but I can't leave my son out. But in this last minute dash to get these presents done, I've come up with an idea for my sons. My son is into Legos, as you saw in the Lego Mustang build. And I'm going to make a little display stand for his Lego minifigures. He's really into Lego minifigures. I'm going to give you a quick basic idea of how it goes. I don't have a whole lot of time to spend on extra things, but with all the box joint jigs I've been using, I got this idea. If I just cut several open jigs and stack them together, they'll have these little spaces that can hold the minifigures. I'm going to do several rows of them like this, and I'm going to cut them a little bit different distance, a little bit different depth and stuff, because I'm not going to use this pine wood. I'm going to use some oak that I have. Actually, it's the same oak that I used to make the blanket ladder for my artist daughter. All right, each piece needs to be 13 inches long. And forgive the Reader's Digest version of everything, but I don't have a whole lot of time to work. I have placed a stop block on my fence of my chop saw at 13 inches, but I'm going to do a test cut first to make sure it's actually 13 inches. Of course, I've set my ruler down somewhere else. Yep, and there goes some other thing falling apart. Yep, 13 inches, that's good. So now, here's my piece of oak that I'm going to be using. And it's rather precariously put on my table saw over here. There we go. And of course, this is in the way too. It's amazing how many different things are in the way in my barn. I think everything's in the way. Oops. Okay, there we go. Now, this piece is messed up here, but I am going to need a 2-inch piece, so I'm not going to be able to get the 2 wider pieces out here anyway. They're not 2 inches, 1 and 13/16. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and start. Actually, I'm going to take this off, cut it a little bit long, and then I can do a final trim to get a nice square clean edge. There. This is too long to mess with the other way. Now I'm going to put this back on, and then I'm going to have to do another test cut because now I have moved this block. So I suppose I can test and see if this actually just, yeah, actually see that? That's my 13-inch piece. and it's actually too long. I'm just going to have to make multiple cuts. Just going to use up this entire board. It's got a lot of knots in it, so I may only get one piece out of each one, which means, geez, I might be able to go back to doing it at 3 inches instead. Yeah, actually, I think I can, because I got so much waste here. Anyway. All right, here are the boards I cut. Ended up cutting 5 boards because this is one big long giant knot. This is going to end up in my wood burning stove. And in each one of these others, I'm going to take one piece out of, and I'm going to go ahead and probably set it up at 3 inches. Well, anyway, these are the pieces. I'm going to go ahead and move. I'm going to go ahead and rip them down to width now after I actually decide what the width is going to be. Well, I decided to go ahead and do a straight edge fix on this because the boards are, well, need to put a straight edge on it because the edge isn't straight. Well, how brilliant is that? And here, because this is barely even. Actually, I'm just going to hold it on. I don't have time to mess with this too much. Oh, that wasn't quite enough. Of course, I doubt that's perpendicular considering these boards have every form of deformation you can imagine on them. But hey, it is what it is, mate, at this rate, at this date. So, yeah, see, they're not even the same thickness all the way across. And so, hey, this is going to be really rust. I don't even know. I may have to come up with another word other than rustic in character for this thing. Okay, I have set the table saw for 3 inches. I'm going to rip them all 3 inches. Anyway, here we go. Better plug it in first since I unplugged it while adjusting it because it's safe.